Alright. Hello and welcome to another Infinity Kingdom guide. In this one, we're picking up right where we left yesterday. Today, we're going to talk more about development talents, this time the second talent page for dragons and minting. As I stated in my last video, there are two arch development builds, one for technology and wishes, which you're going to be running most of the time, and then the second talent page, which I'm going to introduce to you today, which you want to swap into once your dragon is ready to start upgrading again. This is part of a guide on talents that I've been asked to make, and I envision at least a couple extra guides to come, focusing more on war talents. So stay tuned for that bit if that's what you want. So, it's all about gold and dragons today. Before we really dive on in, please remember to like, subscribe, and comment down below if you have some content you'd like me to do, if you have suggestions, criticism. Everything is dear and welcome. Heading into gold and dragons. I usually run these as my second talent page because you're going to want to swap into these on a regular basis. You want to run the core development technology setup that I mentioned in my last video. You want to have that as a default, but you want to use this as your second talent page and swap into it. But we'll get into that. The crucial part about this talent tree is going to be dragon speed, dragon gold, and mint conversion rate. First of all, I'm not gonna dive into each and every single row of the talent tree, not too deep anyway. I'm gonna briefly go over them later, but if you want a deep dive into line 1, line 2, line 3, then head on over to my first guide on development talents. In this one, I want to highlight the crucial talents that makes this page and this setup really worth it. So the first one, and one of the most important ones, is Dragon Trainer. You want to have the 10% upgrade boost, reducing the time it takes to upgrade your dragon quite significantly. Secondly, you want Economics Expert. We're going past this anyway. As I said before, we want to add a better conversion rate for ourselves to up the production in our forge. We are going to swap into this build every once in a while once the dragon is done, and usually we run prayer, so there's not really any point in having prayer in this one as well, because I mean, why would we just used all our wishes anyway. So now we're swapping into this to upgrade our dragon, and we might as well begin a new mint with a bit of extra conversion rate. This means that you want to really carefully line up the dragon upgrades with your forge transmute timer. As you can see in these clips, I managed to hit it within roughly half an hour, meaning that once they're both done, I'm going to swap into my dragon talents, begin a dragon upgrade with huge boost, and also begin a new mint that lines up perfectly with the time that it takes to finish my next dragon. Speaking of, the third talent that you want to have, and that's crucially important, is the Dragon's Treasure talent point. This reduces the amount of gold that is required to upgrade your dragons by 5%. Might not sound like a lot, getting 5% gold, but when we're speaking millions and millions and millions of gold, trust me, it's gonna be worth it. If you want to know more about what the dragon upgrade costs are for each single level, and check out the links in the description. I will include a full list of all the upgrade costs. Just beware that this Shadow and the Holy Dragon skips ahead one level and is always one level more expensive than normal dragons. Okay then. Now we know the three crucial talents, and you're probably sitting there thinking, okay, so what's the rest of the tree going to be like? Like I said, I won't go into too much detail with what the rest of the tree is going to look like. For that, you should check out my guide on the default talents, the default baseline tech talent tree. But what I will do is do a real quick recap on the entire talent tree. First of all, you want to do either buildings or resources, depending on whether you still have buildings left to build. Secondly, you want to do either experience if you're leveling up your main march or your secondary, or you want to do food if you need troops, and stone if you need, well, stone for probably tech. Third, you're going to want gold, 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 gold. Always do gold. There's no point in troop load. Fourth, you want to do AP efficiency most of the time. That means the Pine Walker. Unless you're leveling your secondary or your third team, you really want it up there, then you can go for safe and sound. For line 5, this is the dragon line, so obviously you're going to do dragon training speed. 6, you're going to do either equipment farming, get those additional enchanted stones, or if you're done with equipment, go either wood or iron. 7th, training speed ups. I always want to do training speed because I'm using a shitload of speed ups and I really don't want to waste more speed ups just to conserve a small amount of resources. Line 8, gold minting. This is, as I said before, because you already run prayer on your default setup, so you've gained the prayer crits for today anyway. You might as well swap into gold minting and economics expert and get that mint conversion rate boost for beginning a new mint. Line 9, pretty much do whatever. I prefer to just do whatever. Line 10, are you upgrading dragons? Do you need resources? Do you need equipment? This is not a crucially important tree, but I like to go for the dragon chest speed just to get slight edge, but it's nothing major. Line 11, dragon gold efficiency, one of the absolutely most important talents of this tree. And finally, you have the line 12, where it's not the best talents in the world, but I like to conserve a bit of AP and go for free boss attacks. That was the entire talent tree. I hope you could follow that, unless if you have any questions, I'm always in chat. Hit me up on Discord. I do want to mention a few key takeaways before I let you all go. First of all, only swap into this when you're about to start a new dragon. You have no business using these talents as everyday talents. You'd much rather want the gold and farming and all the stuff we talked about in the default talent tree, but you do want these advantages for beginning a dragon. Remember to line up your dragon upgrades with your mint. This gives you a nice little extra boost to your gold production. You're gonna need every bit of gold you can. Remember to take both dragon treasures and dragon trainer. These are the most important talents by far, and well worth the 400 gems it requires to swap into these talents. You're going to be saving days and days of training, and you're also going to be spending millions of gold on dragon upgrades, so getting 5% off on everything, that will end up being quite a few millions of gold. The last thing for this guide is going to be the war talents. Some of you might have enough talents and levels to spare that war talents are an option for you as well. They're pretty straightforward, so nothing major, but you want to do crit or dodge based on your setup. Fire setups want to do crit, winds want to do dodge, and everything in between want to figure out what they get most value out of. Then you want to do either physical or magic damage, and you want march speed if you have the talents to do it. That was it. That was the big dragon talent guide. 4 major talents that you want to look into. You want to do as much gold as possible, you want to conserve gold when upgrading dragons, and you want your dragons upgrading as quickly as possible. Like and subscribe to the channel, hit that bell and subscribe, really helps me a lot. I'll try to get the best content I can out to you guys as quickly as possible. Thank you for watching, and see you for the next one.